Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Democrats. Hey, that's what I like. Oh. You know, let's get with it. We don't get to do this very often. Let's get with it. Woo! This is what I've been working for 2.5 years. I want to say thank you. Thank you to the Democrats of Kentucky and to those Republicans who are going to come and join us come November. Today's a very special day. As I was talking upstairs to our candidates that ran for governor, that, you know, probably this is a first in the history of the Democratic Party of Kentucky. But before I start, I want to thank those that ran for the constitutional offices and won. Todd Hollenbach and his daddy back there in the back. Todd, what a great. But let's introduce Todd Hollenbach Sr., who I know has got a smile from here to here. And even though she was unopposed, the rock, the solid lady of integrity, the lady that will bring more Democrats to the table in November than we can ever expect, Crete Llewellyn. And this young Secretary of State has met his match in Mr. Hendrickson, who's going to be our next Secretary of State. Jack Conway, who received more votes than anybody, over 200,000, thought it was about time that he take his wife on a vacation. So he's not here today. Greg Stumbo is in Florida trying to buy a boat, but he sends his best to Steve and to Dan. Irv Mays likewise got told he was going on a vacation. But we have a great team assembled today. I want to recognize former Governor Bretton Jones. Where are you, Governor Jones? A former chair of the Democratic Party, Bob Babbage. The guy, the backbone of the Democratic Party for many, many years. A man who it's been my mentor, being from Mason County, and he was from up in Ashland. A guy who's been around politics all of his adult life, who has served as our Democratic National Committee man, the Honorable Terry McBrayer. I want to recognize Bob Bullock, who was a candidate for Attorney General. We are all here today, people, because we believe in the same thing. Ernie Fletcher, it's time for you to go home. We had a lady that ran a superior race for Secretary of State, Miss Madonna White, on the front row. And we're glad you're here today. You know, when I came here 2.5 years ago, believe it or not, look up in the ceiling. All the lights are on. There was no lights on in this headquarters. The lights are now working. The lights are working in many, many ways at Democratic headquarters and all across the state and all 120 of our county chairmen. We wanted to build this party from the bottom up, not from the top down. And we have done that. We have put our county chairmen to work. Not only at election time, our county chairmen are now engaged on a daily basis doing something for the Democratic Party, organizing in their county. And Steve, I think that's going to be to our benefit come November. We have a base ready to go to work. I can tell I can tell the Democrats across this state that unlike when Ben Chandler came here with a debt, no organization, no technology, no staff, this party has a staff, has technology, all the bills are paid, and we're ready to go to work. But the greatest thing of the 2.5 years was the pledge. The bloggers, many of you in the press, laughed at this chairman. But I'm going to now tell you the laugh's on you. This has worked. It was good, solid politics. Everybody said, Lundergan, you're doing it for one certain candidate. That was wrong. Because the candidate that got helped the most is the candidate that became our nominee, Steve Beshear and Dan Mangiardo. We decided that it was in the best interest of the Democrats to talk about the issues, to talk about their ideas, and talk about the solutions to solve the problems, Speaker, for Kentucky families. And that's what we did. That's what we're going to continue to do in November, and that's why Steve Beshear and Dan Mangiardo will win in November. I want to pay a special thanks to those that signed the pledge and did not negatively attack, personal attacks on each other. That was the first part of the pledge. And to those of you, I want to say thank you, because you all did exactly what you said you would do. And now the second part of that pledge is about to take place. The second part of the pledge was that immediately following the election, that those candidates that were not successful would come here to headquarters and stand beside our nominees, whoever they might be, and show their support so we could beat the Republican in November. And ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud of Steve Henry and Renee True. Stand up, Steve. Bruce Wilkinson. Bruce Wilkinson. Bruce Luxford. Bruce Luxford. Sorry. That's what I had on my mind. You know, there's never a day that I don't stump my toe. Bruce Luxford proved to be, as Steve Beshear said on election night, the classiest Democrat of all. The classiest Democrat of all. And I'm proud of it. And to his running mate, Greg Stumbo, the best speaker of any Democrat in Kentucky, the best stump speaker of any Democrat in Kentucky, and I know because he's my dear friend, he will be back again, and he will win sometime in the future. And what can I say about my dear friend, the Speaker? The Speaker who has helped me rebuild this party from day one. He has gone county to county with me, never saying no. When I said, Speaker, we got to have some credibility. We don't have a governor. Will you come and go with me? We went to every county, not once, but many times, 2 and 3 times. He stood beside me to help rebuild this party. There's not a better man, there's not a more decent man, there's not a more friendlier man than Jody Richards. And I remind everybody, he will be the Speaker. And to his running mate, John Y. Brown III. John Y. Brown III. Gatewood Galbraith brought many a new idea to the Democratic Party. I think his suggestions and his common sense approach to ideas were well received, Steve, in these debates. People understood what he was saying in the debates. And I think that we owe Gatewood and his running mate a great deal of credit. And I want to thank him personally for being here today and throwing his support behind Steve Beshear and Dan Mangiardo. And Otis the Bull. You know, Otis really believed in what he was doing. And any of us can run for governor, but you got to believe in what you're doing is right. Otis Hensley believed he was doing the right things for the right reasons, for the right people, and we owe Otis a great deal of thanks for doing what he did for the Democratic Party. Mark Wireman, Gatewood's running mate, who came out of nowhere because he believed in a cause, told me this morning that there's no more books. Don't ask for any, they gave them all away. But I want to thank Mark for his support, because he traveled this state, I'm sure on his own dollar, crisscrossing the state campaigning in behalf of his ticket. So the second part of the pledge has been done, fulfilled. We're ready to go to work. I have told Steve Beshear that 2.5 years as chair of the party, rebuilding the party, re-energizing the party, bringing the party together, unifying the party, bringing our county chairs back to the party, giving them a significant role in the party. Going out, I've traveled over 286,000 miles. I just checked my Suburban. In 2.5 years, it was brand new when I came here. I don't know if Charlotte will buy me a new one or not. But it's time for Jerry Lundergan to go home. It's time for Steve Beshear and his running mate to lead the team, to bring the team, to take us on to victory in November. But I can tell you one thing. I am ready, willing, to go anywhere that Steve Beshear asked me to go, to campaign for him, to get the vote out, and to win in November. There's no secret among some of you in the press that have known me my entire political life. I ran against Steve Beshear twice, and I was also on the losing end of the stick. Stephen Beshear and I have probably had people that tried to drive wedges, and Steve and I talked this afternoon, between him and I. But I can tell you all in this room, there's not a better person, a more decent person, than Steve Beshear to be our nominee. I can also tell you that he has one of the most charming wives that any man could ask for, and I know both of his sons, they're the same age as my daughters. What class acts they are as well. So we have a first family that's ready to go to work and ready to represent Kentucky in a high fashion. And Dan Mangiardo, Dan and I became friends. And I helped him after the campaign was over for the Senate seat that we should have won, and we will win next time. All right. This man understands people. Of course, he is a doctor, so he has to understand people. But he is a people person. and he's considerate. And he will be a great, great advocate for Steve Beshear, because he'll be able to talk about and understand and give advice to Steve on health care and social issues facing the citizens of this Commonwealth. So we've got a wonderful team, and I'm here to do everything I can. And on next Thursday at our Executive Committee meeting, I will recommend to the full Executive Committee that they accept the choice of Steve Beshear and Dan Mangiardo for chair and vice chair. And I want to continue the rebuilding of the Democratic Party of Kentucky, because this is only the beginning. We must win in November. We must win 2 state U.S. Senate seats, and we must return a Democrat to the White House. At this time, I would like to introduce to you the next Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Dr. Dan Mangiardo.